hey, this is Sannhet, and you're
This is
watching Gear Gods.
Yeah, give us like one straight one.
Sannhet, we're completely serious.
This is Sannhet. You are completely listening to Gear Gods right now. You are 100% viewing Gear Gods.
This is definitely Gear Gods.
This is at this moment.
Right here. Yeah.
This piece of video content
This is reality.
is from Gear Gods.
This is reality.
Gear Gods.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm AJ from Sannhet, and I play the bass and do the lights and stuff. Let me show you my rig. So, very simple rig. Bass players really probably shouldn't have too crazy of a rig, but this guy Tony Balls makes a couple of my pedals. This is a hybrid Rat. This is all the versions of the Rat there ever was, and you can switch with this chicken head here. And I think there's 4 versions. I use the vintage, and I go light on the distortion and heavy on the treble because it's got so much growl anyways. And then from there I go into a clone theory just to kind of get like that Joy Division-y bass tone. And then into that I have another Balls pedal, which is this is a reverb and a boost. It's a plus 15 dB boost, just because every reverb pedal I played with a bass always seems to drop the volume a little bit, and you can't really hear the reverb, so this has a little bit of a boost in it. And then I go into this DD5 that I use just for kind of fucking around, but then at the end of one of the songs I use the loop to just make like a really crazy wall of noise and into my tuner. But then I have my butcher switches here, which control the floodlights and then the strobe lights. And then on top of that I have the projector going on up there, usually in the corner. Yeah, you can't really see it in the dark. But then from there I go to usually an Ampeg 810 when I have them around. It's 410 if I've got it, but sorry about the Ampeg cab. But then I have this Fender Bassman 300 Pro. And they don't make them anymore, and I wish they did. This used to be a Sun 300 head, but what's cool about it is it's like you have like all the classic Ampeg stuff going on. You get that Ampeg sound if you just turn everything else off. Then you have a graphic EQ. So yeah, so you can get it really specific if you want, and then if you just turn off the graphic, you can have a classic Ampeg sound. And then there's this great compressor here that just really makes it great. If you're like getting really stoked and going fucking nuts on stage and hitting that bass really hard, it's still going to sound nice and clean and crisp, and it's not going to sound like you're blowing it out too much. And then the piece de la résistance, my 1981 Gibson RD Artist, which actually has some mods on it. The guy who had it before me, he added in this power kill switch so that the battery doesn't run out, because I guess these old ones, they ran out really quick. And this is so the older ones only have 2 switches. There's like a comp, and there's like a bright. But this one also has like an attack thing. I don't remember the specifics of them, but like if I hit this is the bright. If I hit this is like a more attacky, crazy, aggressive sound. And then this switches between the pickups. But I usually play with most of them off, because it's got the Moog board in there, and it has this weird chorusy sound just by default, I guess, because you can go in there and you can actually tune it. If you looked in the back of one of these, there's actually 2 little tuners for it, as the old Moogs had. And I guess if I fixed that, I wouldn't have that chorusy sound anymore, that like vibrato, but I kind of like it, so I stick with it. But another mod the guy did was he smoothed out the neck and made it a little bit quicker. So there's like a weird there's resin and lacquer there that make it just a little bit smoother and quicker when you're sliding down. Because originally it's a hard stop, but he made it smoother. Which all of these things kill the resale value, which is why I bought it, because I got it for like $1,000, and normally it's a $3,500 bass. But I love the thing, and yeah, that's my rig. Thanks for doing this with us.
What's up? I'm John from Sannhet. It starts here with the OCD. This is a full tone overdrive pedal. It's a pretty full range. I actually had to get this. I used to use a Tube Screamer and a Blues Driver, but my guitar that I use now is a the output is kind of way too hot and way too also full range for that, and it was just kind of like blowing it out. So I got this thing, and this is like the most beautiful overdrive that I've used. It just kind of sounds like your guitar, and like breaks up in a way that doesn't change the tone of it too much. And I use it on the lower setting here, which is kind of more like the Fender-y sound, which makes sense because I play through a Fender anyway. And then that goes into this, the King of the Britons. It's a Menatone pedal that's it's actually all hand-wired on the inside. This is one of the 6 knob versions, obviously. I think it's this, maybe the second or third iteration of it. It's kind of like they say it's a Marshall Plexi-style distortion. This one has the power gain on it that some of the other ones don't have. So I back that off so that it's a little clearer when it breaks up. From there, we go to the, the Eventide, which is, it's like a crazy digital delay, basically. It's really great in the studio because it's stereo and it does all kinds of stuff. Live, I have a few settings that I use. It's kind of probably more than I need for live, but it's what I've got. And then that goes into the Space Echo, which is my favorite delay pedal for sure. It's got that real nice shimmery like tape delay kind of sound, so it kind of wavers a little, which I think is really great. And then it goes into this line 6, which I actually only use for a looper. I don't use any of the delay on it at all. It's literally just for live loops because I do a lot of stuff where I'll play it and then I'll loop it and go right into recording over it again, which this pedal is good at doing that. This is actually a modified one. As you can see, the lights are blue. So this is a JHS mod, which replaces a lot of the cheap parts in here with higher quality ones, so that when you do a loop, the level of the loop is not lower than the level of your guitar. It's like, so the loop is just as loud as what you're playing. It doesn't lose any quality. It's kind of essential for what I'm doing, because otherwise when you loop, it kind of drops out and sucks. So great mod. You can send yours off to them and they just do it for you. There's a couple things that I mix in the studio. This is the guts of it. I've got a volume pedal that I use sometimes. I have an Electro Harmonix Pog that I like a lot. That's like it's a polyphonic octave generator. So sometimes I want to give it like a weird shimmery sort of like octave sound. I'll throw that in. But this is mostly the setup that I use for the record. So all that goes into the Fender Twin. This is a 70s silver face twin. It's the ultra linear 135 watt version. It's like a super clean tube amp. It's loud as hell. It never really breaks up, which is what I'm looking for because I get all of my distortion and overdrive from my pedal board. On the record, we actually also ran to an orange, 100 watt orange head. I think it was the OR 100, which actually has a preamp that breaks up a lot more. It's kind of the opposite of this. So we blended those tones in a bit to like get the glassy sound from this and then mix that in to kind of like smooth things out a bit, which I think was cool in the studio. I've got hooked up to this Black Star cab right now that actually belongs to the venue here. Typically on the recording and when I'm playing someplace that I bring my own cab, I have a Avatar cab loaded up with 100 watt Celestians. So those don't break up either. Like, it's this thing. I'm just like trying to get it to be as clean as possible so that it really reproduces the sound. And I guess the last thing is my guitar. This is something I've had for a couple of years now. This is a electrical guitar company, custom. This is all aluminum. It's got an aluminum neck that's anodized, and then it's got a semi-hollow aluminum body. It's powder coated. It's got a Bigsby. It's in the it's like a Vox Phantom VI kind of inspired shape. It's got 2 Seymour Duncan like vintage single coils, and then this is actually the EGC humbucker. And then I have a 6-position switch in here that is really crazy. It's got lots of combinations, but I usually only use this pickup. So, and then tone, volume.
And what does the switch do?
The switch is just different combinations of the pickups, and then this one also gets split. So this one runs as a single sometimes as a humbucker. the two positions, like I said, I use most of this, and then if I switch it back, it goes straight to humbucker, so it could be like just this pickup. And then yeah, so
Cool. That's
this thing is,
beautiful.
yeah, this thing is pretty cool. The neck is like super thin on it. It's like, yeah, it's actually extremely heavy, even though it is very small. And if you look at the back of the headstock, I like that. So these guys are inspired by Travis Bean, and you can see he puts the T in the back, or at least on this one he did. That's kind of like an homage to the Travis Bean. Yeah, I feel pretty lucky that I got this because he actually stopped making customs. So this is one of the during the period of time where he was still doing it. So I feel pretty lucky that I was able to get that made. And I guess that's it. That's pretty much my shit. Thank you.
I love pool parties and palm trees, and I hate all my best friends.
And who are you?
I'm Chris from Sannhet.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I play a Ludwig Vista Light. Cool. I had this kick drum actually custom made. The original kit came with a big guy, 26-inch kick drum. A little too big, lugging around, playing. So I had this nice 22-inch custom made by Ludwig with classic fat lugs, fat hardware on it. Gives it like a real retro look. 14-inch rack tom, 16-inch floor tom, Ludwig steel snare, and I play decent sized cymbals. 20-inch crash because I got to keep up with my other bandmates' massive sound. And this thing I love. I break a lot of them, but it's more or less, I don't use it as a ride as much as I use it as a crash. So it's got it's called the Sweet Ride, but it's got a sweet tone, more or less like a crash, less than like a dull ride. So I love that thing. These I got not too long ago. These Meinl, this outfit out of Germany, hi-hats. I was looking for a nice, clean, crisp, bright set of hi-hats for when we recorded Revisionist. I used to play a really heavy set of hi-hats, but these things I got purposely just for recording, and I love the brightness of them so much that I can't stop playing them. So, and other than that, I just have my trusty sampler here, my SPD Roland. This thing's a monster. It's got almost endless amounts of memory, and from every sample that we use, electronic sample to field recordings to just ambient loops, everything's in here, and I can trigger it all and just go through all of our banks for any set, multiple sets. So I can do stuff on the fly or just have it programmed in there ready to roll for the entire set. So it's pretty straight. And yeah, that's my setup. Nothing crazy, pretty basic. Yeah, thank you for your time.